As I said in my PGR video, which by the way, if you haven't checked that out, click in the corner up above, I wanted to talk about my top 10 players in the world. But also, I was making the list, and it's way too hard to narrow it down to 10, so I'm actually doing a top 15 players, because 10 feels legitimately unfair to not have some of these players. I have literally one honorable mention, which is Spargo. Before we get into it, I'm not including Spargo in the list because he is taking a break. I don't know how long he's going to be taking the break for. He would probably be in top 3 or 4 if I included him. Hello, future ESAM here, saying that I'm going to add another honorable mention of Zachary because I don't want to change the list, and I recorded this before Wanted, and then he won a major. So yeah, I'd probably actually put him in the top 15 somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but yeah, he's godlike, super happy he's back. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. As last time, I have tiers of players. I don't have a 15, 14, 13, 12. It's all just interchangeable at the moment. And the first person I want to go over for that list is Sonics. He got 3rd at Smash Factor, he won CEO, 9th at Double Down, winning a major super hard, especially in this era. And then 5th at Momocon, 5th at Pound. He's been doing absolutely fantastically, don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, a little too inconsistent, and has a couple of roadblocks, I suppose, in the top echelon of players. We haven't seen him play versus the top of the top, except for, I think, Leo, but we haven't seen him face, have we seen him face Gluto? Am I wrong? Has he faced Gluto? So there's a couple of players. I know DeBuzz has been a hard demon for him, and again, we unfortunately have not seen him be consistent for long enough, and he hasn't had crazy peaks, because if you consider it CEO, even though it did have a lot of players, Riddles, DeBuzz, and Tweak were the 3 main players there. There were definitely a lack of super top. There was no Leo, there was no Light, Gluto, etc. So he did beat DeBuzz there, but generally DeBuzz has had his number. He's in and out of beating these top players, and I feel like if he's just a little bit more consistent, he goes up the list. This feels low for Shuton. Shuton has been doing absolutely fantastically in Japan and otherwise. He got 3rd at Kagedibi, losing to Abadongo and Mia, 9th at Double Down, which is a bit of a low placement, and he didn't really get crazy good wins. I mean, Yanni and Aaron are both good, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a top 10 echelon win, where he's lost to Ken and Cola. Ken just missed it, in my head at least, but then also did well at Crown. He got upset early by Kurama, but then beat a lot of people, and then ended up losing to T, again got 5th at Battle ABC, losing to Ken and Ouch. So he's basically only losing to super top players, or like the up-and-comer. He gets bracketed sometimes, like pretty hard, or he gets like, oh, that player's having the breakout of their career, like like Mia, like Ouch.
I thought it was over.
He just doesn't have the super high peaks of some of the players that are above. He doesn't even have the peaks of Sonic, right? Sonics. Ken's not on the list. Ken's like right below, in my opinion. Ken's like 17. Anyway, well, PG Stats doesn't have Yoshidora stats, but Yoshidora has one really good thing going for him, which is the fact that he's the only person that is consistently able to take sets in Japan off of Akola. A couple of people have taken sets. Shuton, I think Hiro has taken one. There's been a couple of people that Alice, I think Hikaru beat him as well. It's pretty rare. Basically, he does incredibly solidly in Japan. He has won majors over some of Japan's best. So he beat Hiro twice, he beat Nyotono, he beat Etsuji, he beats the other top Japanese players like Ashimo, Riziasu. They lost to the Ice Climbers at Kagedibi 8 and then Abadongo in his crazy run, but generally he's been incredibly consistent. And even in a match, even in a tournament where he gets 7th, he still gets a great win in Japan like Gact. And then the last player in this tier is going to be Tweak. The last 2 or 3 months is kind of what I'm basing this off of, because the meta is changing so quickly. So Tweak has been doing quite well. Let's be very clear here. 17th with Aegis is very good, even if he lost to Meister and Elegant. 5th at CEO, losing to Toast and Sonics. 4th at Momocon, losing to Meister twice. I'm still getting really good wins, like a 3-0 over Sonics. Obviously his worst performance of the season, losing to AC's Snake and then myself. And then I don't really go back to March at this point. Even though he obviously got 2nd, it's incredible. He beat basically everyone. He beat Light, Riddles, MK, Leo, Spargo. Obviously he has the potential to be amazing if he somehow is able to control Diddy and Aegis and Sephiroth. He's been one of the best players in the world, right? He still is one of the best players in the world. Being top 12 in this world is really hard. He's just less consistent, and right now doesn't have the peaks of a lot of the players that are above. And that's going to be the end of this tier. That was 15 to 12. Again, no order in them. The tiers are all equal. So this should be 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. The order does not matter, so I'm just going to talk about him first. It's Riddles. Riddles has been one of the best rises of any player. He is pretty consistently in every top 8 now after struggling to get into basically any. Once he got like one top 8, I think he just hasn't missed top 8 since. Collision was his first top 8, where he got 4th. and he beat Light and Tilde and Cola and Quid. Genesis, he lost to Siski and Losers, and he lost to Chag, so those were pretty rough sets. But then since then, he has got top 8 at every single event, whether it's Pound with wins over Gact and Zomba. You have Momocon, where he lost to Didi and Light, but beat Cola and Myron. And Myron's been doing absolutely fantastically recently, actually. He got 4th at Battle of BC, ended up losing to Ouch, and then he lost to Ken in winners, but has some pretty good wins like Gluto. He beat Gluto 3-1, right? Siski, Base Mage, incredible. Got 2nd at CEO, beating basically everyone, not getting upset, beating DeBuzz, and then losing to Sonics twice in Grand. Oh, I lied. He got 25th at Double Down. My bad. So he's missed top 8 once, or twice since he started getting top 8. But again, he's super consistent now. He has a lot of wins on a lot of top players. He's basically like a gatekeeper of the top 10 because not a lot of people beat him. I mean, again, a couple of upsets here and there, like Shu, and of course, Jackal is incredible, and Jackal has great highs when he's playing well, but he's just been super consistent. And honestly, stuff like this, like, again, just as a side note, I really think players should make informed breaks on when they want to go or not go to an event, because he was kind of going to a lot. He was going to things, starting at Momocon, right? He had a 1 week break, and then did 3 events in a row. That can be really rough, especially he's traveling internationally, except he didn't for Gommel, because that was in his province. But it's really rough, so you got to take your scheduled breaks. Otherwise, you know, if you're not going to have the energy at a tournament, that gets really rough. Cola, one of those super consistent players. Like, looking at these results, like, look at these. His lowest placement in 2022 has been 9th at Momocon, and he lost really early to the Luigi Camerific, and then ended up losing to Riddles 3-1. But he has had some monster losers run, like very long, beating a bunch of top players, again, beating Shuton, Cosmos, Base Mage, Jake, Puppet, Fatality, Zomba, losing to Leo for 7th. Oh no. And since 2022 started, he has been on a tear and just never missing the top 8, basically. Again, missed 1, ironically, in his home state. He has a peak of 2nd at Low Tide City, where he beat DeBuzz, Louis Money, Johnny, and beating Ned, and then losing to Spargo twice, right? But then he also beat Spargo at the Gimvitational, which isn't shown here. He had a crazy run at the Gimvitational, played absolutely fantastically. If you look at his Twitter, you'd think he'd be doing worse, because he like loses and then be like, "I'm fucking this game, blah blah blah, Roy, gotta go Cloud, Roy sucks." But he's so good. He's just so good. Another one of Japan's finest, and that is going to be T. He's so ridiculously good. He's very consistent. He won Crown 2, which was like a big regional over DeBuzz twice, and Shuton, although he lost to DeBuzz in winners, but then also beat Ken and Goblin. He got 3rd at Double Down. I didn't even realize he got 3rd at Double Down because I stopped watching at some point because it was so late. In Japan, he still does pretty well. I mean, 9th at Kagedibi is going to be his lowest placement in the past several months. Like, he hasn't gone to too much, which is one of the reasons that I don't consider him higher, because even though he has crazy consistency and crazy peaks, he's losing to Akola because Akola's God. And then 9th, but he hasn't gone to too much. The wins that he's been getting are insane. He beat Ouch, he beat Gluto, he beat MVD, he beat Tilde, he beat Shuton, DeBuzz, Cola, Sonics, like all the players that are basically on this list, right? And he's just so consistent, and he only loses to the top of the top again. Leo, DeBuzz, Ken, Shuton. Literally his worst loss here is Oshimo, which is insane, because Oshimo is the best Ryu player. He's crazy, right? We saw that at the Invitational. So if that's your worst loss, that's hella good. And we mentioned him just now in that list of players. The next player in this tier is going to be DeBuzz. DeBuzz has been on a tear recently. He's been doing incredibly well, consistently placing super top at all the events he's been going to, hasn't won yet, super consistently getting top 8. Since his 9th at Genesis, he got 9th at Pound, which I didn't even know that. He lost to Zomba and Gluto, and then 3rd at Low Tide City, losing to Cola and Spargo, and 2nd in Momocon, losing to only Light, who won the tournament, and then only losing to T, who won the tournament, and then losing to Sonics, who won the tournament, and Riddles, who got, you know, seconds, beating a bunch of top players on the way in all of these, by the way. And then Double Down got 4th, losing to T, and actually got upset really early by Frog, so we've seen that DeBuzz can also do really long losers runs, including wins on Ken, Jackal, Sonics, Karama, Ned, just really consistent. Chag, Smash Factor, he got 2nd, losing to only Leo, but beat Gluto. And then at SmashCon got 5th, beating Riddles and Regalo and Puppe and Aaron, losing to Gluto and Light. The problem with DeBuzz, the reason he's not higher, is he does have a couple of really hard matchups. Obviously Leo, but most people lose to Leo consistently. But also he generally loses to Light, he generally loses to Cola. But if he doesn't run into them, there's very few other people that can stop him. So that's going to keep DeBuzz in this, like, you know, lower 10s area. And the final player in this tier is going to be Meister. Meister, much like DeBuzz, has stepped it up a lot. Maybe not struggling, but not doing his incredible peaks like he used to. But then that kind of changed a couple months ago. So again, I didn't put him in my top 10 list last time, or I put him at maybe 10th. Had the amazing run at SmashCon, which he beat a lot of good players like Leon, Shattuck, Tweak, This is D-Dog. And then also double eliminating Light, only losing to Onin. At Smash Factor, he got 5th, losing to Leo and Sonics, which, oh no, but still those are very good players. Colossal, he lost to only Leo, and he beat Leo here for the first time ever, and also beat Gluto. And at Momocon, he lost to Dabuz twice, and because Dabuz is kind of his demon, right? But then beat Tweak, beat DD, beat Tweak again, beat Shattuck again. His worst placement is definitely going to be his 25th at Genesis, but again, Genesis is kind of like the first tournament I'm counting for this type of area. Very high peaks, even though he has not won a major. The only game watch to win a major of a big size is Mia, still. Shoutouts to Mia. If you want to watch that video, you can click up in the corner up above. Beating a ton of good players, including able to take sets off of the top players like Gluto and Light. And Proto at Summit, so yeah. So now we're into the top 6, and these next 2 players are tied. And honestly, this might be some bias on my end, but I think Proto Banham is up here. He is absolutely fantastic. Ironically, he does do better in America than in Japan at the moment. Although he did just win a Japanese tournament, 5th at KageDB 8, losing to Mia and Abadongo, who ended up being 1st and 2nd of that event, but again, still beating Umeki, Aim, and a bunch of other top Japanese players. One double down, right? Double eliminated Leo, beat Ken, beat Jake, beat Ned, beat Bloom Forever. Absolutely fantastic player. This might be my bias. If you want to put Proto a little bit lower, you can. He basically is able to beat any of these top players. Again, if you include Summit, the most recent Summit, he beat a lot of really good players at Summit. I can't remember exactly else who he beat. Just absolutely fantastic player. I have a lot of faith in him. I love watching his Mimic and Lucina. It is super, super fun. So he's in the top 6-ish area. And you know who else is in the top 6-ish area? We just saw them, Onin. If you want to go based off of win percentage, he should be like number 1. The reason he is not higher is because he has not proven himself quite at enough events, but the events that he has gone to, he's won. This is his entire history. A Glitch Infinite, again, he was there, apparently, and he lost to Cola, lost to Wadi. He's been to plenty of events. He has some negatives, right? But in 2022, post-Omicron variants, which is when he started to have his breakout, because again, I think he was still playing Steve here. Combo Breaker 2022 absolutely slaughtered everyone. I was there. He beat Sam T. Silver 2-1, Ned 3-1, MBD 3-0, Wadi 3-0, Loaf 3-0, Domination 3-0'd Bacon, the Dr. Mario 3-0'd Dark Wizzy, 3-1'd Icy Mist, who he lost to at a previous tournament, 3-2 Zanotto, 3-1 Elegant. Elegant's a top player. Warp Zone, double loss to Ned, but beat Ice Knight, Comet, Dark Wizzy, Ice Knight again, and Ned. So he still took a set from Ned. So he's 2-2 with Ned. Then, of course, the first thing a lot of people saw from him, if they missed Combo Breaker since it was a little smaller, is get on my level. He beat the fuck out of everybody. The thing is, he's not even winning, right? Like, Onin isn't winning, he is destroying everyone. 3-0'd Larry Lur. He 3-2'd Big D. That's like one of his closest sets ever. 3-2 Cola. That was also insane. But again, beating Cola on the list, right? Beat Riddles on the list, 3-2. Beat Big D. And at SmashCon, the biggest tournament in like 3 years, he decimated everyone. He had one close set, which was with Mutace, but he beat Kobe, who is PGR contender, just doesn't travel enough. Mutace, top 20 PGR. MK Leo is Leo, and he beat the brakes off of Leo. Riddles, 3-1, kinda bad. Gluto, 3-1, kinda bad. Meister, 3-0, kinda bad. 3-1 Meister, kinda bad. He beat like 7 or 8 of the players on this list, and he's only been to like 4 majors. That's insane. His proficiency with Steve is absolutely ridiculous. If he loses more in the future, sure, maybe I'm gonna bump him a little lower. But you can't win a super major. This is the definition of a super major. This is SmashCon 2022 is by far the biggest tournament since lockdown ended, right? By far, it is absolutely. It's so impressive. You don't just do this. I don't give a fuck what you think about Steve. I don't care how much you hate the character. This is such an impressive feat. The win at Super Smash Con 2022 is probably more impressive than any of Akola's wins, who we will get to in a little bit, but Akola's just been doing it for longer, and he's played more of the top players for a bit longer, and that's literally the only reason why Akola's higher. I think Onin and Akola are pretty comparable in terms of how good they are, but Akola just has a little bit more results, so Onin's the second best Steve on this list. And now we're into our next grouping, and these are pretty familiar faces, right? First off, we're gonna start with Gluto. I think he was top 3 on the NA PGR. Gluto has had very few bad losses, if any. Like he lost to Onin and Light at SmashCon and got 4th, and he got 4th, and he got 5th, and 5th, and 1st, and 2nd. 2nd at Genesis with a crazy run, beating Spargo, Light, Zomba, Cola, Siski, and Cosmos. At Pound 2022, he won that, beating Axiom, Sonics, Dabuz, Leo, Light, and Leo again, losing a set to Leo. Battle ABC, he got 5th, losing to Riddles and T. Those are like his worst losses. Sorry, his worst loss is Bloom Forever, who's incredible. Smash Factor 9, he got 4th, beating Goblin and Waka, and Shiny Mark losing to Dabuz and Sonics. Oh no, other people on this list. And then Smash Con got 4th, losing to Onin and Light, and then beating Leo, beating Dabuz, beating Cosmos. He's crazy good. He's crazy consistent. Obviously, he has such explosive plays. He is a fantastic, fantastic player. He is literally one of the favorites to win any event if he's playing well. Again, you don't just beat Leo as much as he has on accident. Like my time period, they're 3-3. That's crazy. Not a lot of people have a set record like that against Leo, clearly, especially after playing so much. Like, you know, Onin's 1-0, but like if you play Leo for like 5 sets, it's generally going to be 4-1 or 3-2 at best, right? So 6 sets, like you expect a 4-2 at best for Gluto against Leo, but no, it's 3-3. Incredible. He's able to contest with literally the best players in the world, all of them. Light and Gluto's rivalry, in my opinion, is the most exciting storyline at the moment. They're absolutely insane. But Light is just clearly, right now, the best player in the US. He's the most consistent, right? He's going to a decent amount of events, losing to Leo and Gluto and Leo and Gluto and Meister and Meister. He literally only loses to top 10 players, and he beats basically everyone else. He is a brick wall for plenty of the other people. 3-2 Elegant, which is honestly his most impressive win at SmashCon because he normally gets bodied by Elegant. And again, beating Zomba, beating Dabuz, beating Gluto, beating Dabuz, beating Sonics, beating Riddles, like decimated people, right? At Pound got 3rd, beating Jackal and Riddles, and then losing to Gluto and Leo. And then he got 4th at Genesis, beating Myron, beating Dabuz, beating Chag, losing to Leo and Gluto. The thing is, he's beating most of the people more often than not. Oh, sorry, I forgot the Gimvitational. I do want to count the Gimvitational, right, where he got 2nd. He did really bad in pools, admittedly, but again, with these type of events, you're allowed to do bad in pools, but then his loser's run was crazy. 3-2 Gact, 3-1 Mars, 3-1 Cosmos, 3-0 Yanni, 3-1 Cola, 3-0 Riddles, and then only lost to Akola. So he did crazy. Like, the runs that Light has are absolutely fantastic. He doesn't really travel too much at the moment. I think he's going to start soon. Absolutely fantastic, super consistent player, one of the most talented. Light is the protagonist of most times because the last 2 people, although everyone respects them, a lot of people would rather Light win. And of course, we have the top 2 in the world. I'm actually going to put them in the same tier because I think that is fair. I think you know who both of these are at this point, but so we're gonna go with Akola. If there is one person to rival Onin's crazy rise to success, it is Akola. Akola has been an absolute monster at every single event he has been to. Again, let's go back to like May, because that's about when we've been talking, like May, whatever. So he lost to, I think it's Yoshidora, and then beating Hero and beating T and beating Yoshidora and losers, and then beating Shuton twice. Crazy, right? Like, he's consistently able to take sets off of every single fucking person in Japan. He basically beats everyone in Japan super consistently except for Yoshidora. Yeah, Kakiri beat Ashimo twice, and Gact and Leia, whatever this name is, because I'm still not super good with Japan and I'm not going to take super long. The worst placement that he has had is 4th. People literally freaked out that he got 4th place. Do you know who that sounds like? That sounds like fucking MK Leo getting 4th and people going, oh my god, he got 4th? It's news that he got 4th because he's just destroying literally every other person. Again, I don't 100% know every single Japanese name. He just wins. He just wins. And he wins against everyone, and he loses maybe a set to Yoshidora here and there, but then still wins the event. And he beats Kome, which this is fucking crazy. The fact that he beats Kome does not make sense to me because that matchup's supposed to be really bad. At the Invitational, of course, was his one foray into the US, and he literally didn't drop a set. 3-2 Ferps, 3-0 Larry, 3-2 Cola, 3-0 Mars, 3-1 Ashimo, 3-1 Riddles, 3-1 Light. So he literally came here with no experience against the US super hyper aggressive players, and he destroyed them. Ferps had the closest shot, and then every other set wasn't close. You don't just not close all these top players. And yeah, do people not know the Steve matchup? Sure, maybe, I don't know. But Japan probably does at this point, and he still beats them. First, fourth, second, first. It like is very reminiscent of our other top 2 player, MK Leo. MK Leo just got 5th at SmashCon, and everyone went, oh my god, he got 5th, as if that's bad. 5th is an incredible achievement at most tournaments all the time. First at Smash Factor, 2nd at Double Down, so he lost to Gluto and Onin, and he lost to Double Proto Banham, and then he lost to Meister here, but then won the tournament. He lost to Gluto twice, and then he won Genesis, and he's incredible. Of course, y'all know Leo's amazing. At worst, top 2 in the world. Super talented player, consistently beats like literally everyone. He is the roadblock for so many fucking people, like T, and even like Spargo for a long time, and he beat Apollo Kage, and he's beating T, and he beats Shiny Mark, and Dabuz, he beats the fuck out of Dabuz. Poor Dabuz. So many people, and now he's switching to like Pyramithra mostly, so he's picking up a new character and still got 5th with them, because I mean Leo's just really good with swords, and of course already played ages beforehand, and he just stopped playing them as much unless he's like specifically playing against the Sonic or something like that. Terrifying character pool, but he's so good, right? Clearly deserves the #1 spot formally, but you know, I consider him and Akola pretty close because Akola is clearly the king of Japan and MKLeo is the king of everywhere else, and I want to see them play, and I want to just be at a tournament with both of them and play both of them and beat them and win, and therefore I'm the best player in the world. ESAM, the best player in the world. On any day, any of these players can beat any of these other players. So yeah, like they're crazy. Hope you enjoyed the top 15 list. Let me know if you agreed with it or disagreed. I know I didn't put Ken on this list. I didn't do any honorable mentions because that's basically just making a longer list, and I already did that with making it top 15. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, social media and Panda partner stuff is down below, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Pikachu, busted.